So we talked about this on our live podcast. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. Commerce Connects live. It was actually a really cool experience. I talked about it in a previous video about how I was obviously like super nervous, but one thing I had touched on in there, and like all the other commentators or the podcast guests or our live guests touched on, was the fact of don't be afraid to outsource whenever you're busy or it's just not something you enjoy. Because when we get into this space as creators, like obviously at the beginning you got to be your social media manager, you got to be your marketing person, you have to be the photographer, the videographer, the editor, like the director. There's so many hats that you have to wear when you first start off in this journey. But one thing I don't think people understand is it's okay to just niche down and just do what you enjoy doing. Obviously, I know budgets are tight and it's kind of hard to pay people to edit your videos for you if you don't enjoy editing, or to pay someone to shoot for you because you don't enjoy shooting. But at the end of the day, it's going to pay off tenfold at the end. And sometimes I feel hypocritical even talking about this, because there are times where I would rather just bite the bullet and edit the project myself. But also there's times where I understand, like, editing is what fills up my calendar. It's something where it's a timeless, or that's not a timeless thing, but it's like, it's a brainless activity for the most part. Like, obviously when you get more into the effects and the captions and whatnot, of course, it takes a little bit more creativity there. If you're just doing the whole like short form content like this, where it's just chop, 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 I should be hiring this type of stuff off. But honestly, I'm going to hop off here and I'm going to edit it myself. What I'm saying is, like, a lot of the times, like, I'm realizing, me personally, I really enjoy shooting. I really enjoy directing. I really enjoy doing lighting on shoots. Like, that is who I am. That is what I want to do. So that's why I'm more keen to take a project that is like a contracted project where, cool, hey, Jacob, this is our idea. This is what we need done. Here's some examples. Do it. And so, cool, it's problem solving. I show up, I'm like, okay, cool, how can we make this space look like the one that you provided? Like, as an example, whether it's changing the lighting or doing the camera angles, stuff like that, I really enjoy doing. I mean, on the other hand, I do social media management for a couple different companies. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do. Eventually, I would like to have someone on the team that's their pride and joy. They enjoy running people's socials for them, because at the end of the day, there's those types of people like Taylor Rains. She was a podcast guest on Commerce Connects, as well as a panel host on Commerce Connects Live. I guess the whole thing about this video is just do what you're passionate about. Obviously, try everything, because at the end of the day, I mean, I didn't even know I was going to enjoy this digital media route as much as I do. Like, if I'm being honest, in high school, I did all of the medical programs. When I was a sophomore in high school, I thought my end goal was to be someone that designed prosthetics for people. Like, that was my dream job. But when I went to go apply for the early college program, I missed the math portion by 1 point, and I didn't get into the medical program. And I kind of felt defeated, but I knew I wasn't going to miss out on going to college early. So I asked them, I was like, hey, what other programs do you guys have? They mentioned digital media, and I was like, okay, cool. I personally have done graphic work in the past. I did a lot of cool Call of Duty stuff with like the Phase and Optic guys back in the day. So like, I had a grasp on digital media. I knew I was kind of creative, but I didn't really know that I was going to take it to this extent. At that time, I didn't picture myself owning a commercial content company. Again, just try stuff. Like, if you are just starting out, whether you're 16, 17, like, now is the perfect time to start. But also, even if you're 30 years old, I'm kind of ripping off what Thad just said in his most recent video. Like, just find your passions and run. This whole digital media world is amazing. It's ever evolving. That's the one thing I really enjoy about it, is seeing the trends from last year being like the super hyper edits, and now this more personable content is coming back, which I truly enjoy, because I enjoy storytelling. If I could pick one job right now that I would love to do, would be like a traveling documentary person, because I just enjoy helping tell people stories. That's why I love doing these brand stories so much for small businesses, is because I know they're struggling, and I know that they need to get their word out because most people will shop somewhere that they have a personal connection to. Like, hey, if this coffee shop, like, I like their message, I like their branding, I like the vibe of it, I'm gonna go there more. And it helps that now I go to this coffee shop so much, like, I'm friends with the owners. I have a personal connection with them. So at the end of the day, just really find out what you're truly passionate about. Stop doing the tasks that you hate. Like, obviously do them until you don't have to anymore, but just realize, like, hey, it's okay. Like, it's fine to know your role. Like, that is the biggest and most important thing I want you to take from this is know your role. For me, with the wedding company, I know I'm not the owner. I'm not going to tell somebody prices. That's not my job. My job is to show up and shoot on the day of a wedding and make it the best experience for them as possible with us. I'm not going to be in their face. I'm going to be a fly on the wall. I will help direct stuff when I need to. It's not my job at the end of the day to be in their faces and be like, hey, go do this, go do that. Like, that's their wedding day. They're stressing enough. I'm just going to sit back, capture the day. Same thing with my commercial content. A lot of the times, I don't like doing stage stuff. It always comes off corny. Ha ha ha, fake laughs. Fuck that. Really just figure out what you want to do in life. And if you guys have any questions about doing this stuff, like, obviously I'm not the biggest commercial content person. I'm not the biggest media agency. But one thing I will proudly say is I'm doing this and I will continue to do this. So at the end of the day, just double down on yourself, bet on yourself, and I'll catch y'all soon.